YouTube? This is your boy Black Ladle Chiha coming to you with another video on this game Black Deck. Now, it's different factions, and we have a few more to go. We have the faction that we're going to cover today, which is the Mountain. Then we have Swamp and Wasteland factions. Those are the last three factions. So let's go ahead and go over the Mountain faction, starting off with the heroes. All right, so let's start off. We have 4 heroes, 2 rares, 1 epic, and 1 legendary. Let's start off with one of the rares. We have Maeve, the North Star. All right, and as always, we're going to use the aura abilities first. This one buffs all other mountain allies by 15% of this card's max strength. Mental type by 10% of this card's max strength. And then freezes fights and resists frost. So pretty simple, straightforward. It buffs people with the frost element that she has, as well as she freezes herself, and buffs other mountain faction allies, which is good. All right, that's aura weakness. Debuffs all ranged enemies by 12% of this card's max. The faction that we're in, which is filled with a lot of melees. And then his other ability, and can be booked up to 30% at no limit. That's pretty cool. Next, let's go to Ormark Halfjaw. Alright, his aura ability buffs all other mountain allies by 20% of this card's max strength, which is even better than Maeve. Alright, then it has buffs itself by 5% of this card's max strength whenever a goblin ally dies. Don't typically want him to die, but he's like, well, I get stronger on your last ditch effort if they do die. Then last one, goblin power buffs all other goblin allies by 20% of this card's max strength, and can be booked up to 50%. And this one has a value of 25% for the buff for itself, which is not bad at all. And obviously I have these 3 here. And I'll probably do a separate video just going over each individual hero. Let me know in the comments down below if you would like that. And last but not least of the heroes, we have Eldritch Stormbringer. Kind of looks like, reminds me of Thor a little bit. All right, his aura ability buffs all other with lightning elemental type by 25% of this card's max strength. And this says other, it doesn't say allies. That's a key wording in there. So if you do have this card, let me know in the comments down below if it does buff the enemies with that element as well. Based on the wording, it does sound like it. I'm thinking from a Yu-Gi-Oh standpoint, because certain words make certain things happen. All right. One of his abilities is charged. Buffs itself by 150% of this card's max strength for 2 turns, and can be booked up to 250% and last 6 turns. So he's just a hi-ya and you die. Pretty much, he's a big boy. And then Aftershock debuffs all shocked enemies by 30% of this card's max strength every turn. Okay, and then shocks for 4 turns when it fights. Pretty cool. He's a strong dude. Strong dude at all. I wouldn't mind having him. All right, and let's check out some notables. First off, all 4 of these cards can attack twice or hit 2 different targets. Obviously, they have an elemental. Mine would be favorites to be Frost Goblin, and then Lightning Goblin. Coming third would be Fire Goblin. The reason why I say that is not because of their strength. If you look at their strength, Frost Goblin is weaker, Lightning Goblin is weaker, Fire Goblin is stronger, right? And Poison Goblin is even with Fire Goblin. Yeah. So those would be something if you want to build a deck with goblins, which I will be doing at some point in the near future, building a goblin deck, and we'll go over see how that works. I'll hopefully like to get all the other goblins that's in this faction. That's Ogre. There's another goblin. So there's 2 more goblins I would love to get my hands on first before doing this. just so I can go over that in a lot more detail. Okay, so those of that, you have this guy who can be, if built appropriately, can be a Swiss Army knife for your Goblin deck. I would still put in Witch in this deck in some form of healing. I don't believe this faction has a healer. It just has buffers. So I will at least put in Witch, at least a copy of Witch and a copy of Priest or some other healer. Okay, those two will be just fine. They're pretty much Swiss Army knives for this game. Okay, so like I said, Goblin Assassin, he has a piercing ability and buffs another random ally by 10% of this card's max strength the first 3 times it kills another unit. All right, and its base stat when maxed out is 2500, which is not bad at all. Can be made a whole lot stronger, especially if built appropriately with the kit as far as artifacts. And this, you get this guy with the daily logins. I just got him, right? He has an ability buffs all other Goblin allies by 20% of this card's max strength the first 3 times it kills another unit. It has a protection ability, and then buffs all other Goblin allies by 30% of this card's max strength. So this card is very, very, very strong. Has a lot of good abilities to help this a Goblin deck specifically out. Like I said, that would be my goal if I was to use this faction and like thoroughly use this faction. He's another guy. He has protection. He heals himself. You book him out. He heals himself by 30% of his max strength every turn. I don't know if the heals will stack if you put him in a regeneration set. I don't know that. So that's something that can be tested out, to be honest, and see how that works. So that's all I have for today's video on this. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Holla back at your boy. Peace.